All right, stock market, S&P 500, short-term view. We're going to look at this and I'm going to do a little bit of teaching around this, and you'll be able to see why we thought that the market was going to rally and how far we thought it was going to rally. And now, as it's done really well, we've raised the targets a bit, and I think that you will see what we're looking at here. But first, I want you to see what it looks like with really no analysis on it. This is the SPY. Happens to have on the bottom here our slim ribbon PO, which is an amazing indicator, and the slim ribbon is on the chart right over here. So we're looking at a daily chart here, and we're going back here all the way into October of 21. So there is a rhythm here in this market that is really clear. And it's clear when you have an experienced eye to look at it. When I put up this analysis, you're going to really see as this pops out at you. So this is just a plain candlestick chart. And I'm going to move in here our daily cycle analysis and watch this. Bam. There you can see how the rhythms in the market are just extremely clear. And what we see in here is a market that is improving and changing. Let's take a look at this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cycles. A cycle is measured from trough to trough. It is a repeating length of time from the point of origination, as you can see. And this right over here is a 34-day chart, a 34-day cycle. It's broken up into some minor halves that aren't perfectly timed, but they're pretty good. And overall, you get some really good information. Now, these arrows over here, what this is meant to show you is that it is a positively configured cycle and the point where it actually peaked. And you can see there. This is called a right-hand translation, where it rallies and all the way through the right side of the cycle, and then it corrects. And it's green upward arrow because it's a positive cycle. This one started out doing as it should. Once you get a positive cycle, the next cycle should be where it makes a new high. And it did that perfectly. You can see in here the slim ribbon gets positive, and then all of a sudden here it gets negative. When it breaks under this level right over here, that is a breakdown, and that is negative. And you can see in here that from this point right there is where the cycle peaked and then came down and made a lower low. That is a negatively configured cycle. The odds are high that the next rally would fail in resistance and then give you another negatively configured cycle. You had these 1, 2, 3, and 4 negatively configured cycles in a row. And all of that was in this declining phase. And each of these times that you got these red downward arrows were signals of downward momentum resumptions. And that was periods like right in here where it kept bringing downside markets. As you can see, that is the slim ribbon PO. That is a proprietary indicator. So now I'm just going to zoom in here at these last couple of cycles that you can see. There's that negative cycle right there that brought the bottoming going on here. Now this is also where that weekly minor cycle bottomed for those of you that are following our cycles. And here you can see the minor cycle and the minor cycle right there, and then the minor one here. But look that this actually closed higher than where it started, and it brought you to a new high. And the slim ribbon went positive, the slim ribbon PO went green. All of that gave you this positive look. Now, this is what's really so important, and that is, as we had projected that the S&P was going to get up to maybe as high as 405, 406. Well, here we are right now with it around 410. So it has done better. And there is a resistance zone right off of here that comes off of the weekly chart. And that's right in here from about, let's say, 413 to about 425. So right now this is rising, but you can see that it's late right in here. And just like you saw right over here when it was late, all of a sudden the last 5-6 days had a big sell-off. Well, we're getting into that period right over here. But this cycle really looks like it wants to configure in a positive way. you can see that it looks really pretty clear when you look at that. And there is, I'm just going to bring this in one more time so that you can get a good idea of where we are right now and what these projections are. That is that this cycle is likely to come down into this retracement area. Now, the minor retracement area is 396 to 391. The short-term retracement area is kind of in the middle of that, 393 down to about 387. This looks like over here, we're going to say the next 5 to 8 trading sessions, that it's likely to find some resistance in here and some profit taking, bringing it down here. But this is actually a short-term buy zone, because this will then be a positive cycle. And it says that you will get a rally. So you see there's 2 projections up in here. One of them is that it gets up to the bottom of the resistance there at about 413 after this correction. And this is these retracements right now are rising because we haven't quite made a high anchor point. And then after that, the rally to 413 could go up here to 425 on the S&P 500. Now let me tell you that these do not affect the negative scenario on the longer term perspective. This is all positive right in here, but living within intermediate and longer term negative conditions. It makes for the potential for a big upside move. And when you get these big upside moves in here, like you see right there, which is really, when you look at this chart, it doesn't look that much like a stampede. But, when you get a rally in here that's up a couple hundred points in 3 days, in the S&P 500. That's a huge rally. So, the retracement in here is likely to come down here. Often this slim ribbon gives you the support area right there. So that's coming up into a similar area. So we'll look for that pullback. We'll just say like 5 to 8 days right in here, and then moving up again. So for those of you that are short-term traders, this is really likely to give a buying opportunity, and then moving up into that range that we're talking about right there. 413 to 425 is a likelihood looking at that. That is the short-term view, and that is what shows you the beautiful cyclical patterns that are in there, and the harmonics of the dominant and the minor cycles that are pretty clear in there. And when you get into the period of these minor cycles, in which they look like they are lining up with the dominant cycle, you end up getting into a period where there could be some corrections going on. So you see that right in here where they were lining up and you got that correction. You see that right in here where they're lining up and you got that correction. You see that right in here. You see that right in here. All of that. I mean, it's pretty clear looking at that. And then there's another one right in here. But we're giving it only that minor little decline because all of that is suggestive of the fact that the upward momentum has changed. Momentum on the intermediate is positive, and all of that is saying that just look for that little dip, timing-wise, that we're looking for in the early part of August. We had been looking for that all along, not realizing or guessing that it would get up as high as we did in the S&P, but it's still there. But the upward momentum is so strong, we think it's going to be minor, and that would be a buying opportunity. Before I get too far past this right over here, remember that you can learn about cycle analysis at askSlim.com, and that will give you a look at what we do here. Just go to the cycle analysis workshop at the top of the page, and there's a free video in there and all the information on doing this style of analysis. That's it. I hope that you found that just absolutely valuable. Remember that you can get practically everything that people love that we put out for free right now. It begins August 5th through the 26th, but now is the pre-sign-up period where you can get all of these 10 different areas on our website and services, amazing, with no credit card necessary. Just go to the askSlim.com website and look where it says to sign up. You sign up in advance and you'll be sent a password for the August 5th period, and you're going to get practically 3 weeks of our just amazing content
at absolutely no cost to you, no risk, nothing required from you. Just give us your email, and then we will be letting you in for free.